Hey Dan. In our second mission, we're going to move north out of Western Europe and into Scandinavia. You can see that now this area on the map is flashing, and that means that we can access the mission there. So let's click on the briefing, and we'll see this is called the Milk Run, Personnel Acquisition. Two notable scientists are both staying in a small hamlet close to one of our research complexes. They would obviously be a great help to our R&D boys. Your squad has instructions to persuade both the scientists to join our reputable organization. You can see here they put persuade in, what do you call those? The less than and greater than, the triangular brackets symbols there, which means that we'll be using a new piece of technology, the Persuadatron. So let's just accept that. And we move into our equipment selection, or our team selection screen. Now you can see Bush is still selected from our previous mission, and what we can do is we can actually select that shotgun, and so you can sell it. Oop. Pardon me, I right-clicked it, which moved it to the end. Hang on. You can see that we can sell it for $250, looks like. Very good. That gives us a little extra cash. Now, pistols, you will pick up a lot, and they are, well, worth nothing, but sometimes you do need to sell them just to get them out of your inventory. The other option there was to reload, which you will need to do to make sure that your equipment has enough shots for the mission. But let's move over to Hicks, and let's give him something a little different. So we can select equipment, and we're going to take the Persuadatron, which costs 5,000. We're just going to click Purchase. Now you may have noticed that the number, our credits increased as the day clicked over to a new one. And that's because, as I said, we collect taxes from our conquered territories, or controlled territories. Alright, so we've got Hicks with a pistol and the Persuadatron, and the other thing I want to show you, since we might as well start, is the research screen. So in here you have either equipment or mods, the cybernetic modifications. On the right you'll see what you already have, so the cybernetic legs, arms, chest, heart, eyes, and brain in version 1. On the left, these are things that you could research, all the same components, but version 2, so an improved version of those. As for the equipment, the same thing. On the right is everything that you have available to purchase for your agents. On the left are the categories that you can research. So let's just select automatic. Minimum funding is 96, maximum funding 9,600. Now, what they mean by that, once you start researching, is that it will take a certain amount of time, indicated by this line here, to fully research the new technology. Now you can either increase the amount of spending you do, which decreases the amount of time, but will obviously cost you more, or you can take that back. So, you know what, let's speed that up. We don't need to be spending too much, but we'll come back to that at the end. We'll just hit accept to get out of the research screen. And again, we'll do this mission with just one agent. So, pistol, Persuadatron, that should be everything we need. We'll hit accept, and we'll get into Scandinavia. Now, another thing I'll mention is that you can move the camera, can move your view around the map using the arrow keys. So you can use the mouse by bringing it to the edge of the screen, or you can keep your mouse, centered on the action and just use the arrow keys on the keyboard to move your camera around. All right, so we have our ongoing mission is to persuade 2 targets on this map. So we've got a ping coming from this direction. So we'll just head over. And what happens with the Persuadatron is that when it is equipped, There you go, by selecting it by left-clicking. It will control people's minds, essentially capturing them when you get close enough to them. Now, let's see if we can get past these police, or we might need to have a brief shootout here. Yep, alright, so let's head back just a touch, equip our gun, and there we go. Now, when you start, you don't have the best statistics when it comes to firing your gun and shooting, but here you can see we've managed to pick up an Uzi, so we can actually switch to that weapon. There we go. And as well as picking up a shotgun. Alright. Very good. So inside this building is our target, and you can click on the map to get exactly next to him. And you see nothing will happen immediately, but if I click on the Persuadatron, there we go. You can see they are a bit too... Oh no, there we go, just a bit too far, yes. So you hear that sound that indicates that someone has been persuaded, and they will then follow you around. Now, one thing that you can do is if you right-click and drop a weapon, they will often pick one up and arm themselves. I guess not in this case. But there's one other target for us to get to, so we'll head over in that direction. Probably inside of this building. Now we do want to make sure that we keep this character alive as best as we're able. So we can turn on the Persuadatron, and there's no reason not to have it on sort of permanently. Except that, of course, when it's on and active, you don't have a weapon selected, so you might need to quickly switch back to something else. Alright, but let's turn our Persuadatron back on, head inside, get close enough to the other person, there we go. And now, because we're supposed to escort them out, we are given the evacuate order. And it'll tell us to basically get back to where we started, to this sort of sewer entrance, these access tunnels here. And as you can see, they just sort of follow you docilely around. The Persuadatron can be used on civilians. It can also be used on police and on agents of other companies. But in order to work on those sort of authority figures, you actually have to first persuade a few civilians to follow with you. So you need a crowd of a certain size in order to get anyone who has sort of, I guess, more official training to break down their defenses. And enemy agents who are of advanced level with advanced cybernetic brains will also be resistant to persuasion. So you can't always do it, but it can be useful as a way to get around dangerous situations by essentially ending the fight before anyone needs to fire a single weapon. And here's our exit zone, indicated by this red circle on the mini-map. So if I walk into that, the others will follow, and as soon as they're both within the circle, the mission should be complete, and we'll have the opportunity to exit. Very good. So we'll just hit spacebar, and we can skip the little animation. But let's have a look. Alright, we used one agent. We were there for 3 days and 16 hours. I assume that includes travel time, because that didn't feel like 3 days. We did kill killed 2 police, killed 3 guards, got those 2 persuaded. And, yes, new weaponry has been submitted to the research department. That's probably the Uzi we picked up, because, as you may have noticed, we have not had access to that. But quickly we'll go into the briefing for Central Europe, because I just wanted to check on the research. And, oh, there you go. Indeed, the Uzi has been researched. So if we wanted, we could continue automatic research, or we could try heavy, assault, or miscellaneous. And those are all sort of surprises until you unlock them. But we've also got some things to sell. Yes, the Uzi was, as you can see, automatically removed and submitted to our research department. But if we go to the equipment, you can see that we can now purchase them. Very good. All right, Dan, well, that's everything for today. Next time we'll move on to the next mission, which is, I believe, Central Europe. All right, Dan, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later.